The warm travel notes of Little Blue Cap, Little Girl Duadwo has a small blue hat. There is a pink flower sewn on the brim of the hat, and it is lined with soft velvet. It is warm and comfortable to wear on her head. Every morning, Duadwa would wear a little blue cap to the kindergarten. But that day, the wind was too strong. The little blue cap was blown up, turned around and landed gently on the grass in the park. Little Blue Cap had just steadied herself when she heard the drip-drip sound of rain. It turned out to be drizzling. At this moment, a little ant was running round in the rain, holding a grain of wheat in its arms. The rain had wet its antennae, and the grain of wheat was getting heavier and heavier. Little Blue Cap hurriedly shouted, "Little ant, come to me to take shelter from the rain, quickly." It bent the brim of the hat down a little, forming a small canopy. The little ant hurriedly crawled in, holding the wheat grain and catching its breath. "Thank you, Little Blue Hat. Your little umbrella is so warm." After the rain stopped, the little ant deliberately broke off a small piece of wheat grain and placed it on the brim of its hat as a token of gratitude. In the morning, the wind blew again, carrying the little blue cap to the big tree in the park. A newly hatched bird fell out of its nest and huddled beside a tree root, shivering with cold. When the little blue cap saw this, it gently rolled over to the little bird, took out its soft inner lining, and wrapped it around it. "Don't be afraid, little bird. I'll be your temporary nest." The little bird burrowed into the warm flannel lining and gradually stopped shivering. It chirped away at the little blue hat as if singing a song of gratitude. It was not until the mother bird flew down that the little blue cap gently loosened, watching the little bird being carried back to the nest by its mother. At noon, a little squirrel ran past with a pine cone in its arms. Accidentally, it dropped the pine cone into a crack in a tree hole and couldn't be pulled out no matter how hard it tried. Little Blue Hat had a sudden inspiration and extended the brim of her hat into the crack of the tree hole, allowing the little squirrel to climb in by stepping on the brim. The little squirrel smoothly reached the pine cone along the soft brim of its hat and waved its big tail at the little blue hat, saying, "Little Blue Hat, you are so smart." Having said that, it put the plumpest pinnacone in the little blue hat as a gift. In the afternoon, Duadwo and her mother came to the park to look for the little blue cap. From a distance, they saw her little blue cap lying on the grass, with wheat grains and pine cones inside, and a few small insects circling around it. Duadwo ran over and happily picked up the little blue cap. "So you're here." She put on the small blue hat and found that the little flower on the brim was still there and the flannel inside was still soft, as if it still carried the scent of the sun. On her way home, Duadwo touched the little blue cap and suddenly felt that it was warmer than before. She had no idea that the little blue hat had just gone through a warm journey, helping the little ant shelter from the rain, serving as a nest for the little bird, and even carrying pine cones for the little squirrel. The little blue hat was stuck on Duadwo's head, and she felt sweet in her heart. It turned out that a small hat, even if it was away from its owner, could still help many friends with its own warmth. Such a trip was even happier than wearing it on the head. Since then, Duodwo has cherished the little blue hat even more. She often tells the little blue hat, if you are blown away by the wind again next time, you should also continue to help your friends. The little blue hat seemed to understand. The little flower on the brim of the hat gently swayed, as if nodding in agreement.